everyone. Thank you for the great introduction. My name is Laura Solano Flores, and I was a Girl Up Teen Advisor in 2018. I am also a swimmer, and I play water polo, which is why I am doubly excited to be speaking to such inspiring athletes tonight. Today, we are lucky enough to be speaking to Simone Johnson, a WWE wrestler and the first fourth-generation superstar in WWE history. Natasha Chang, a world record-holding race car driver, and Maria Toorpakai Wazir, a professional Pakistani squash champion. Thank you so much for being here today. We are going to jump right in. As female athletes, what stereotypes or barriers have you faced? How did you overcome them? And if we could just go in order of how I introduced you, so Simone, then Natasha, and then Maria. All right, Natasha, if you could start us off then.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. It's an amazing honor. And us ladies, we were talking a little bit earlier, and I kind of shared my own story. And when we talk about stereotypes, personally, I'm a female race car driver, but I'm also in a sport where I compete with men equally on the same playing field. We don't have a subdivision for women. And a lot of people don't realize that we do. I'm just in a car, in a race amongst my male peers. And for that, I think my journey is a little bit different when it came to stereotypes. We have the same stereotypes, meaning that we are in a club, as mentioned, and it is a male-dominated sport, more so than many other sports, because I don't have my own niche. So it was hard to get in. I had to prove myself. And of course, you know, they called me names and they said that I was here for the wrong reasons. I just wanted attention. So it took me a very long time to continuously prove, to continuously be pushed back, but then having to come with more confidence and then to show my own worth and of course a sense to be, you know, to be compared as my peers in my sport. But I've been in racing and I've been in the industry for almost 15 years. And I can say that my journey has been even that more fulfilling because I can stand beside my male counterpart in a sport, in any genre, because I've actually played my hand in many different genres of racing. We have rallying, we have go-karting, we have circuit racing. So to be able to stand with my peer and be a woman on an equal playing field has been phenomenal, and it's been an amazing journey. But we do as women, we do have to fight for that. And equality in a sense, of course, because I am with my male peers in motorsports. And it wasn't easy, but I just held my head high, and now to have earned respect from both men and women, it's been phenomenal.
Thank you. Maria, if you could have your take on that question.
Hi, so nice to be here with the Goals Up today. I mean, you know, women are facing problems everywhere in the world, less, somewhere more, somewhere extreme. And the regions that I come from is, you know, it was always up to Talibanization and terrorists, really badly affected with terrorism. It was known as the dangerous place on earth by President Barack Obama at that time. So growing up in that environment, and this is very extremely conservative regions, and that's why it's a safe haven for the terrorists, Taliban. So, but at the same time, we see that girls are not allowed to go to schools even, but ending up in sports. So it's a miracle for me. And being the only girl from there, I had to pretend being a boy. My name was Genghis Khan for years. And that helped me a lot. I learned about how men behave and how their life is and how women's life is. So it was very, you know, I got to see both sides. And I feel that sports, ending up in sports was also, it was a miracle, it was accident. But sports gave me the exposure, I got to know myself more, my strengths, my weaknesses, my power. It unveil your true identity, your true being as human, not as women or men. So for that reason, the opportunities that sports gave me, it made me realize that, the life that I myself lived, I feel that there are so many girls out there that they deserve to be in that active world, equally participating, and their equal participation is so important. So many lives have been wasted. Life comes once, and we see that in ancient times, girls were buried alive. But now in this century, if we don't give them sports and education, it means we are burying them alive. It's the same thing. So for that reason, we need to make sure that girls know that they're strong, they're powerful, and the first instinct that they feel in their heart, the message that they know that this is who I am, they should never give up on that feeling, that the feeling is genuine. Go for it, they should go for it. And they should know that no economy, no country is powerful without their equal participation. So it is important that they realize that how important their role is today. We see on state level, on a religious level, on every level, on a family level, we need them on a decision making positions, and we need them in a position that they are healthy, they're aware of their rights, so that way they can contribute further. And a lot of women, the problem also I see that it's not only men that we think they're the continuers of a patriarchal system. There are a lot of women who believe the same thing. They believe in the patriarchal system, and they are the problem right now in the change making that we want to see. So and they have to know that they're putting a lot of young girls' lives at stake, their own daughters' lives at stake. So they have to understand. And there's this very famous saying. There was a very his name was Luqman long time ago. His name is in Quran too. So somebody asked him, like, how did you gain so much wisdom? He said, by doing opposite to what people do. So these women should understand, for years and years they have been supporting the same system. Now they have to do the opposite and take side of their daughter's side.
Thank you, Simone. I think your audio is working now. If you could go ahead.
Okay, basically just piggybacking off of what both of the girls said. I think that the biggest thing that women still face coming from such a young age is the idea that you fight like a girl, or you play like a girl, or that the phrase like a girl has a negative connotation. And I remember a couple of years ago, I can't remember what company it was, but they had this campaign and it was like a girl. And I remember how much that stood out to me, because I was like, wow, that really is so true. And I think that, how do I want to say this? I think that, like, even from when girls were so young, there's always, or even I played sports my whole life, and there was always that idea in the back of my head that I was like, oh, well, let's say like I play soccer, for example, but I'm a girl who plays soccer. And this idea is so true, especially in wrestling, because there is still such a long way to go when it comes to women's equality in not only WWE, but also independent wrestling as well. And I think that I would love to one day, there is no longer a phrase of, oh, she's pretty good for a girl, or she's a female athlete, or she's a this or that, but just that she is an athlete, or she is a wrestler, or she's a race car driver, or she is whatever she is, because that is her, and there's no other negative connotation that should define her because she is an athlete.
Thank you. So throughout the summit, we've heard from a lot of change makers, and you are all change makers yourselves. How do you think that we can change the system to better support female athletes? And can you tell us a little bit more about your experiences as female athletes? If we could just go from Simone, then Natasha, then Maria.
I think that previously in the panel, or it might have been in the panel before this, someone spoke about how when boys are growing up, they're typically exposed to more masculine things very quickly, whether that is sports or just playing with trucks or playing with even Legos. And I wish that when kids were young and when they are exposed to different hobbies, that they are given the opportunity to explore what works best for them, even if it is particularly masculine. And I think that even the phrase like, oh, she's a tomboy, she's this, she's that, I wish that wasn't a thing anymore. And I feel like if girls, especially when they're young, are given the platform and given the room to grow and express themselves and find what works for them, then that will allow them to feel more comfortable in themselves, which will therefore allow them to become better athletes or better researchers or whatever they want to do, as long as they have the position and the platform to feel comfortable to grow and also to make mistakes within that growth. I think that that's a really big thing, because I feel like there's a lot of female athletes, and especially just female celebrities, that are under a microscope with everything that they do. So I think that if we can just kind of work to take away that pressure and just give young women the opportunity to learn and to grow, I think that that would allow everybody to become a better athlete or whatever they choose to end up doing.
I couldn't agree with Simone any more than that. I mean, my best friend is, she's expecting a baby, and it's a baby girl. And both of us couldn't be more excited because she's a surfer. And the first thing that came to mind is we get to teach a young woman, a young girl, how to surf. Auntie Natasha is going to teach her how to drive a car. And we have to, so I think it's on us and our parents to give our children equal opportunity to have their hand and feel, you know, different sports. And we don't categorize sports. Oh, cars are for boys, you know, dolls are for girls. That we are able to allow our children to express ourselves, because in order to be a professional athlete, you know, our parents had to have, you know, given us exposure, or we have to start at a very young age. I started relatively late, and I was 17. So it isn't much. I personally don't believe it's a system issue. It's just we need to break that connotation of women are delicate and we don't want them to fall or to break their arm or to hurt themselves, because women are delicate flowers. I think we as our generation and parents moving forward, we need to give our children equal opportunity. If they like riding a bicycle, have them ride a bicycle. Maybe then buy your girl a dirt bike, and then so just be able to give them that exposure from an earlier age, to not just to box our young girls into something so limited, that we give our children that chance as parents from a young age. Then we'll see more women, you know, competing at an amateur level, and then hopefully graduating to a professional level. And by that time, we will be in the system. We will be a part of the system. So the system at that point in time will not need to be fixed. We will be a part of the system, and then it will automatically change because we have more women in it.
Thank you. Go ahead, Maria.
Well, we see the world is faced with a lot of a lot of issues right now. And, you know, it's time that every human realize that it's our moral responsibility to act responsibly. And at the same time, we humans make the governments, we humans make the organizations, we are part of it, so it's up to us whether we want to change or not. At the same time, we see that right now, United Nations have realized that the vital role of sports and its importance for achieving SDGs. We see that United Nations and Olympics, they have a great partnership, which makes me very hopeful. At the same time, we see that right now, the change I see in Saudi Arabia right now, because it's a role model for the Muslim world, and we all follow that. And I see that they are now pursuing vigorously sports, for this to achieve SDGs, and at the same time, they're very much focused on improving women goals in every sphere of the society. So at the, we these things are right now is very encouraging for all of us, and at the same time, media has to play its role a lot. We have to see more role models, more women's female sports out there, so it can encourage many young girls out there. And at Hollywood levels too, you see there are a lot of male athletes who are being featured in the movies, or you see there are movies about them, but then you see female, they should more focus on female athletes too, female sports too, so that it can encourage many young girls. Young girls have, there is the parents' responsibility to understand that girl and boy, they're all equal, and it's their responsibility to lift them up.
Thank you. Just to go around for final thoughts, maybe summarize in a sentence or two, what advice do you have for young girls hoping to pursue a sport? Same order.
I would say to any young girls watching, just know that you not only are, yes, you are a female athlete, or yes, you are a female this, a female that, but at the end of the day, you are a female, period. And you're an athlete, and you're this, and you're that. You do not have to be defined by the fact that you are a female. Like, yes, I'm a female, and I'm a professional wrestler. I know that. So I think just know in your heart that you do not have to define yourself by any stereotypes. And chase your dreams, shoot for the stars, always.
Amazing. Just to continue on that, but with a slight difference. So my background is my dad's Chinese and my mother's Puerto Rican. I was born in Florida, and then I grew up in Jamaica. So I'm very multicultural. So if I was to look back at my career and to see a role model, or to see someone that looks like me that I could have, emulated, I wouldn't have found that. So the message that I would love to give young women is, even if there is no road to travel on, pave your own way. Never take no for an answer. Keep going. And there will always be hardships, and don't take that as a bad thing. It's the book of life has so many different chapters. Learn from each chapter and keep continuing. Even if you're the only one on your road, just have faith in yourself and just keep going.
I'll agree with Natasha. Girls face, there will be a lot of hurdles, problems. It's part of life. You have to be prepared for that. That is all sports about it. That challenges will be on your way, and you should never give up on yourself. Whatever you feel like, just go for it. There is a champion in every girl out there. And I would also, one thing I want to say to the governments, because coming from that tribal regions of on Afghan border, I have suffered myself through with a lot of terrorism and weapons, and in the end, I see that sports is antidote to terrorism and extremism. And our governments should promote sports more. I see that due to Kashmir issue, India and Pakistan, they started a race, nuclear race. The nuclear race started between those two countries. And most of the budget, the GDP, goes into defense. But I tell them that they should spend this budget on health, sports, education, women's welfare, their empowerment, and you will feel more safer without all those weapons. So it will give you all the safety. So they should understand that it's the government's responsibility, it's the parents' responsibility, and being athletes ourselves, we are doing our best. We are playing our role. We have been through all those hurdles. We know what's happening in the society, and everybody has to play a role in that. And for that reason, I feel that's why I also created my foundation, and I really want to build a sports center for girls in Pakistan, a kind of sports center where every girl can be herself and play sports freely.
Thank you. What an amazing way to end this panel. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your experiences with Girl Up. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.